got some good state soccer matches going on tonight. Johnson-Carrollton in overtime, tied at 1-1. Dawson County St. Pius in overtime, tied at 1-1. The North Hall Trojans have beaten North Oconee to move into the Class AAA state quarterfinals by a score of 4-3. Of course, for complete coverage, you can log on to accessnorthga.com at any point in time tonight. So this past weekend, as if Buford didn't have enough state titles, they added their first ever gymnastics state title. Buford totaled a 110.225 to win its first gymnastics state championship in school history at Westminster in just their second season as a program. And joining us is Amanda Allen. She is the coach of the Lady Wolves, the Buford gymnastics team. Coach, congratulations on the state championship. Just a wonderful feat.
Thank you so much. We are super proud of the girls.
I bet you are. I bet you are. Now, I want to dive in a little bit to the competition itself, and you all faltered a bit in the first segment of the competition, which was the beam. But you came back with a vengeance. What was your message to your girls after them not starting the competition maybe as strong as you all would have liked?
Well, beam is certainly a very difficult place to start, and it's a very difficult place to end. And so when we did not do well, the girls were frustrated. I guess above all things, they were frustrated because last year at the state competition, we also did not do well on beam and ended up in fourth place last year. But so this year, it was our first event. We had 4 girls up. 3 of those girls fell on beam. And so lots of frustration there, but we just kind of huddled up, and I said, you know what, we have to put this behind us and march forward like we're champions, and they certainly did. They really got focused, and floor, the next event coming up was a nice place for us just to kind of relax a little bit, and they really did. They just kind of decided, you know what, we're going to compete. We came here to win, and they really just marched forward, and it was a great outcome for us.
Yeah, really an impressive outcome when you consider that you all are just in your second year as a program and you're going up against the likes of Carrollton, Lambert, Forsyth Central, Westminster, Milton. How do you go from, your first year and the newness of it all to winning a state title in year 2? What was this growth period like?
Well, we have certainly learned a lot in the years, especially as coaches, to a new sport. I'm very familiar with gymnastics. I have a gymnastics background, but the whole coaching side and as a high school sport, definitely a strong learning curve. And I really learned a lot. And I think the girls did too. And possibly the most important thing is that they kind of used last year as a warm up. Like, what is this going to be like? They're good, strong competitors outside of high school, but it's a different arena. It's a lot more relaxed inside the high school arena, honestly, than it is in their competitive club teams. And so I think this year they could really just enjoy being a gymnast and wearing the green and gold and being proud to represent Buford and really reaching toward that AAA excellence for their school this year.
We're talking to Amanda Allen. She's the gymnastics coach at Buford. Her team won its first state title this past weekend. Coach, you mentioned a background in gymnastics. Frankly, until this state championship happened, I don't know many people that were familiar with the fact that gymnastics was housed in the high school arena, and therefore maybe aren't that familiar with you. So introduce yourself to our listening audience. Tell us about your background.
Well, I've actually been teaching at Buford now. This is my 3rd year here at Buford. But as a young person, as my own high school career, gymnastics is only in the high school arena in certain counties around our state. So it's not, particularly in our area right here in the metro Atlanta area. Gwinnett County does not have any high school gymnastics. Hall County doesn't have any high school gymnastics. So in our immediate area, it's not real familiar in the high school arena. In Cobb County, Fulton County, DeKalb County, they've had gymnastics teams for some number of years. And so when I was a high school student, I was a club-level gymnast. I competed level 10, which is the highest level of competition, of club-level competition. And then in my later years, I was a judge, a gymnastics judge. And so now, as people become more familiar with gymnastics and the competition of that, each event is judged by an individual or two, depending on the type of competition it is, up to 4. At the state competition, there are 4 judges that judge a routine based on the difficulty level, the performance itself, the skills that are included, the combination of skills that are introduced into the routine. And so I did that for several years on the competition circuit, not the high school level, but on the competition circuit. So just being familiar with, how gymnastics runs. I was a coach while I was in college, so very familiar with skill sets and how gymnastics works, how to put routines together. So that came to me easily, that side of the coaching job. When I came to Buford, though, there was no high school team, and little did I know that it was already in the works. And I think actually when I was hired, there was no idea that I had that background. It just happened to be, it just happened to work well. And in my second year there, I was approached about being the coach. Someone had found out about my gymnastics background. And so I guess actually at the end of the first year of me teaching at Buford, I was approached about being the coach. And we started in that second year. So last year we started in as our inaugural season. And I had a great group of girls, lots of parents who had been working hard to make it happen for Buford High School for some number of years. And I know that all of those parents, coaches, the club that we work out of, Gymnastics Training Center, is owned by David and Michelle Pomerantz, and I know they have been instrumental in making this happen, and I'm sure will continue to be. So just a big community effort, really, to create a high school team.
I hate to cut you off, Coach Allen. Fantastic. Congratulations on the state championship. We hope to talk to you again soon. Folks, everybody have a great Tuesday evening and Wednesday. Game on.
She's just a girl, but she's on fire.